as a recap our topic last time about the structure of streptococci. So based on the structure of streptococci, there are a lot of virulence factors. So we'll discuss the virulence factors one by one. We discussed already streptolysin and streptokinase. So virulence factors, we have the capsule or non-immunogenic, wherein that is the ability of the cells to act as antigen to produce or to provoke immune response. To provoke immune response, not to produce. Okay. M protein, these are hair-like projections on the cell. So that is the major virulence factors. It is promotes adherence or attachment to the host cells. Anti-phagocytic, wherein it acts against phagocytosis process, wherein to prevent the digestions or degradations of the bacterial cells, and anti-complement and type of the specific. So produce surface antigens. So C carbohydrates protects against lysozyme, because lysozyme act as the antibiotic or antimicrobial property of the host cells. And then membrane for adherence or attachment, and M protein to prevent phagocytosis, and hyaluronic acid capsule, so it will provoke no immune response. And we have C5A fructose, hinders complement and neutrophil response during the infection process, wherein neutrophil try to respond, but it hinders by C5A proteins. So these are example of the diseases that are caused by Streptococcus. So treatment, we have penicillin G and V. So for penicillinase resistant penicillin, so we have to use example diclofloxacillin is in skin infections, where staphylococci could be the responsible organisms. So following rheumatic fever, rheumatic fever, this fever that already affects the heart. So patients are placed in continuous prophylactic antibiotics to prevent repeat the streptococcus throat infections. Usually it is accompanied by scarlet fever. Okay. So scarlet fever is already caused by Streptococcus pyogenes, leads to repeat case of rheumatic fever. So for invasive pyogenes infections such as necrotizing fasciitis, wherein that is inflammation of fascia. Okay, fascia is a tissue that connects the heel to the toes, or streptococcal toxic syndrome, consider adding clindamycin. Okay, that is considered to be invasive already. So, Streptococcus pyogenes, so spherical, ovoid in arrangement. So cocci divide in plane perpendicular to the long axis of the chain. So this is strepto, that is chain of coccus or cocci. Members of the chain often have a striking diplococcal appearance, or rod-like forms are occasionally seen. Okay. Next, virulence factors. So we discuss C, carbohydrates, membrane, and protein, hyaluronic acid, C5A proteins. So another one is the streptolysin SLO, or oxygen labile. So it causes cardiac damage, or antigenic produce the antigenic streptolysin O. Okay, streptolysin or SLS. This is oxygen stable, non-antigenic. So this one is antigenic. Okay, exotoxins is streptococcal pyrogenic exotoxin or SPEs. So usually ang manifestation nito is scarlet fever already. Okay, once scarlet fever, of course that is the causative agent is the pyogenes or streptococcus. Exoenzymes, you have streptokinase, fibrinolysin, and streptodornase or DNase. So this one is an enzyme involved in the hydrolysis of the DNA, and hyaluronidase for the hydrolysis of the hyaluronic acid or even the connective tissues. Okay. Streptokinase digests fibrin clot, because fibrin is activated or initiated by the fibrinogen. Okay. And hyaluronidase breaks down connective tissues, and DNase, ito yung hydrolyze ng mga DNA structure. So it will cause damage to the DNA structure of the host cells, and then it will affect already the multiplication and growth of the host of the cells. Okay, so usually in Biogenesis it has a plasmin, which plasminogen, which triggers already the binding with the siya yung trigger ng ng streptokinase enzyme. Okay, that is the plasminogen. So we have lipotecoic acid for adherence. So erythrogenic toxin, pyrogenic, so ito yung rashes, scarlet fever, ito yung erythrogenic toxin. Once magkaroon ng rashes, so usually that is in response to the erythrocytes or RBC already. So streptolysin O, lyses WBC, platelet RBC immunogenic. Okay, so it will produce already immune response. Baka non-immunogenic, it provokes the immune response responsible for hemolytic zone around colonies. So virulence factors of beta hemolytic and streptokinase, fibrinolysin, lyse blood clot. Then plasminogen will activate plasmin, and plasmin will digest fibrin in other proteins. That's why plasminogen is the one that initiates to activate the plasmin for the digestion of fibrin. Kasi fibrin is responsible for blood clotting. No? It happens in the coagulase or in the Staphylococcus species. Facilitates spread of infection, used in treatment of pulmonary emboli, coronary and venous thrombosis. So, streptokinase is a drug also used in the treatment of thrombosis or blood coagulation or blood aggregation happens in the patients suffering from a pulmonary emboli or coronary artery or venous thrombosis. Okay, so for infection caused by Biogenesis, so pharyngitis, soft tissue infections, erysipelas, impetigo. Okay, so mga impetigo, ito yung may mga mga red sore or rashes in the skin, vaginitis, postpartum infection, meaning after labor, so bacteremia, necrotizing fasciitis, deep soft tissue infection, cellulitis, myositis, that is infection of the myosin. We have also yung natawag natin na peripheral sepsis, infections of the genital tract area. Okay, it is a result of the complication of postpartum infections after labor. So kung nag-labor yung babae, so example, nagkaroon ng mga contaminations or may na yung sanitations ng isang hospital, so there might be a contamination already of the Biogenesis which lead to the infection, which lead to the postpartum infections. Toxin-mediated scarlatina or toxic-like syndrome or scarlet fever already. So, once scarlet fever, it already affects the heart. Diba? Magkaroon ng mga rheumatic fever. Okay? Rheumatic fever, streptococcal gonorrhea or natawag nato na reactive arthritis. Okay? So, treatment, penicillin G, drug of choice, erythromycin, anti-streptococcal chemoprophylaxis, mga baka prophylaxis for prevention. So, penicillin, 1.2 million units. So, treat every 3 to 4 weeks for daily oral penicillin or oral sulfonamide. And Streptococcus pneumoniae, morphology, encapsulated, spherical, ovoid, lancet shape, cocci. So, orientation, pairs of chain. And gram-positive, all culture is considered to be a negative. Okay? So, ano yung mga streptococcal infections of pneumoniae? So, pneumonia, tonsillitis, angina, chest pain, okay? Sepsis, endocarditis, rheumatism, and we have chorea or involuntary muscle movement, like speech, movement of the body also. Therapy with combination of cell wall active antibiotic penicillin or vancomycin plus aminoglycoside na strep and genta or gentamicin. So, essential for severe enterococcal infections such as endocarditis.